Long before roads carved through the valleys and satellites mapped the ridgelines, there was a part of Oregon that remained untamed. Out here, time isn't measured by hours, but by ice, fire, and erosion. In the northeast corner of the state, granite spires rise like the spine of an ancient beast, and rivers plunge into canyons deeper than any in North America. This isn't the Oregon of postcards or coastlines. This is the Oregon that maps still whisper about. The Oregon that even Oregonians don't fully know. Welcome to the far side of Oregon, a land of alpine wilderness, ancient geology, and vast silence. In this journey, we'll explore the region often called the Alps of Oregon, where the Wallowa Mountains pierce the sky and Hell's Canyon plunges to depths unmatched on the continent. We'll walk among glacial lakes, volcanic plateaus, and ghost towns swallowed by sagebrush. We'll uncover the stories of sacred Nez Perce lands, the traces of pioneer trails, and the ecosystems shaped by wind, snow, and seismic force. This is Unseen Northeast Corner of Oregon, a portrait of a state's most remote and extraordinary corner. Often referred to as the Alps of Oregon, the Wallowa Mountains rise suddenly and spectacularly from the far northeastern corner of the state. With jagged granite peaks, alpine basins, and deep glacial valleys, this mountain range feels like it belongs in another continent entirely. And in many ways, it does. These peaks are part of a complex geological jigsaw. Formed by volcanic activity and later sculpted by glaciers, the Wallowas are composed largely of ancient granites and metamorphic rocks, some dating back over 150 million years. During the Ice Age, massive glaciers carved out deep U-shaped valleys and left behind pristine alpine lakes like Wallowa Lake, a glacial jewel that now sits at the foot of the mountains. At the base of the range lies the small town of Joseph, named after the famous Nez Perce chief. The town is a gateway to the mountains and to Wallowa Lake, often compared to Lake Louise in Canada. From here, you can take the Wallowa Lake Tramway, one of the steepest in North America, to reach the summit of Mount Howard for sweeping views of the Eagle Cap Wilderness. The Wallowas are also sacred land to the Nez Perce people. Chief Joseph and his band lived here before they were forced to flee during one of the most tragic and heroic episodes in Native American history. Today, the Nez Perce Homeland Project continues efforts to preserve this legacy, and visitors can explore interpretive trails and monuments that tell their story. The range includes parts of the Eagle Cap Wilderness, a protected area of over 350,000 acres. It's a backpacker's dream, filled with high alpine meadows, lakes, and wildlife ranging from mountain goats to black bears. In summer, wildflowers blanket the trails. In fall, golden larch trees set the ridgelines ablaze. Tucked deep within the Wallowa Mountains, the Eagle Cap Wilderness is Oregon's largest designated wilderness area, and arguably its most breathtaking. Spanning over 350,000 acres, this alpine sanctuary is where solitude, silence, and raw nature reign. This high-elevation wonderland offers a rare combination of rugged peaks, glacier-carved valleys, and over 60 alpine lakes, many perched above 7,000 feet. Unlike the moss-draped forests of western Oregon, Eagle Cap is a land of sun-drenched granite, open skies, and windswept plateaus, resembling the Rockies more than the Cascades. The wilderness supports a wide range of wildlife, including elk, black bears, mountain goats, and even elusive wolverines. Its pristine lakes, like Mirror Lake, Ice Lake, and Glacier Lake, are fed by snowmelt and are among the clearest in the state. Summer brings a riot of wildflowers, while fall colors transform the basins into a golden amphitheater of larch and aspen. This land was once traveled by the Nez Perce, and ancient trails crisscross the landscape. Even today, it holds deep spiritual meaning for the tribes who lived in and revered this mountainous domain. Hidden in the southern Wallowa Mountains near the Oregon-Idaho border, Cornucopia is a forgotten gold mining town that once bustled with life in the 1880s and 1890s. Today, it lies mostly abandoned. Rusted machinery, collapsing cabins, and overgrown mine shafts tell the story of a place once rich with promise. Cornucopia's boom came after the discovery of gold in the late 1800s, drawing hundreds of miners into the remote Eagle Cap backcountry. At its peak, the town boasted 2 hotels, 7 saloons, a general store, and even an opera house. But as the gold faded and harsh winters took their toll, so did the population. What makes Cornucopia truly haunting is its setting, deep in a narrow mountain valley, with steep peaks closing in on all sides. The town sits at the edge of the wilderness, where forest meets ghost town in eerie silence. Old mining tunnels still perforate the surrounding hillsides, and the cemetery nearby whispers of the town's turbulent past. Few places in North America hold as much vertical force as Hell's Canyon, a chasm deeper than the Grand Canyon, yet largely unknown. Carved by the Snake River, the canyon plunges over 7,900 feet from rim to river, cutting a jagged line between northeast Oregon and western Idaho. But the Oregon side of Hell's Canyon is not about overlooks and highways. It's about isolation. Steep basalt cliffs, dry grasslands, and trails etched into stone by centuries of movement. Bighorn sheep balance on ledges. Storms rise and vanish without warning, and for hours you may not see another soul. This is Nez Perce homeland. The canyon was once a seasonal refuge for fishing, hunting, and ceremony. Ancient pictographs still stain the basalt walls, and stone tools lie buried in the alluvial fans. To the Nez Perce, this wasn't a divide, it was a home. The geology is a layered record of fire and flood, volcanic basalt, tectonic uplift, ice age erosion. Even now, the canyon deepens imperceptibly as the Snake River carves silently below. Hell's Canyon is not meant to be conquered. It's meant to be witnessed, slowly, humbly, from the rim or river, in awe of a landscape too vast to ever fully see. In a state known for forests and volcanoes, there's a landscape in Oregon's northeast corner that defies the stereotype, Zumwalt Prairie. It rolls to the horizon, treeless and wind-washed, alive with motion that has nothing to do with people. Covering over 330,000 acres, this is the largest intact bunchgrass prairie in the Pacific Northwest, and one of the last of its kind on the continent. A high plateau overlooking Hell's Canyon, it's a place where skies stretch unbroken, and where silence isn't empty, but full. Golden eagles nest in cottonwood groves. Elk herds move like weather across the fields. Endangered ground squirrels vanish into burrows. And hidden in the grasses are remnants of indigenous lifeways, travel routes, hunting grounds, and places of seasonal gathering. The land is deceptively soft, gentle hills, pale grasses, wildflowers, but underneath it lies volcanic bedrock and deep time. What survives here must be patient, resilient, and built for drought. Conserved today by the Nature Conservancy, Zumwalt Prairie is a rare example of a working landscape where ranching and conservation live side by side. In a world obsessed with peaks and coasts, this prairie reminds us that wonder can also be flat, slow, and quietly infinite. In this corner of Oregon, the land speaks a different language, one not of traffic, timber, or tide, but of stone, silence, and space. Here, granite rises like ancient memory. Grasslands ripple with wind and migration. Ghost towns decay at the pace of moss. And canyons plunge deep enough to hide stories that never made it into textbooks. This is the side of Oregon untouched by freeways and forgotten by tourism boards. But it's also the most revealing, because what survives out here, weathered, wild, and watching, is the original shape of the West. You don't pass through this part of Oregon. You arrive by choice. You walk slower. You listen more. And if you're lucky, you leave changed. This has been Era Trails. And these are the wonders of Oregon, unseen until now.